Hey everybody, back with another video. Thank you guys again, part 2. So we're going to just dive right into it because the story is a little long for today's lesson. So it's going to be in Psalms 106, verse 3. There is joy for those who deal justly with others and always do what is right. So with that in mind, let's jump into story time with Jen. My favorite part. So it's called A Blue Ribbon Attitude. A teacher decided to honor each of her students by telling them the difference they had made in their life. Then she presented each of them with a blue ribbon that read, "Who I am makes a difference." Afterwards, she decided to do a class project to see what kind of impact positive recognition would have on a community. She gave each of the students 3 more ribbons to go out and do the same for others. They were to follow up on the results, see who honored whom, and report back to the class. One of the boys in the class went to a junior executive in a nearby company who had helped him with his career planning project. The boy gave the junior executive a blue ribbon. Then he gave him 2 extra ribbons and said, "We're doing a class project on recognition, and we'd like you to go out and find someone to honor. Give them a blue ribbon, then give them the extra ribbon so they can honor a third person." Later that day, the junior executive went to see his usual grouchy boss, told his boss that he admired him for being a creative genius. The boss seemed very surprised. The junior executive asked him if he would accept the gift of the blue ribbon. His surprised boss said, "Well, sure." And as he gave him the last extra ribbon, he said, "Would you do me a favor? Would you take this extra ribbon and pass it on by honoring somebody else? The young boy who first gave me the ribbon is doing a project in school, and we want to keep this going and find out if it affects people." That night, the boss came home to his 14-year-old son and sat him down. He said, "The junior executive came in and told me he admired me and gave me a blue ribbon for being a creative genius. Imagine, he thinks I'm a creative genius. Then he gave me this blue ribbon that says, who I am makes a difference. He gave me an extra ribbon and asked me to find somebody to honor. As I was driving home tonight, I started thinking about whom I would honor with this ribbon, and I thought about you. My days are really hectic, and when I get home, I sometimes scream at you for not getting good enough grades in school, or for your bedroom being a mess. But tonight, I just want you to know that you make a difference to me. Besides your mother, you are the most important person in my life. You're a great kid, and I love you." "Thanks, Dad," the boy managed quietly. "I was just thinking about whether or not it was even worth living, since I didn't think I'd ever be able to please you and make you love me." So when I was reading the story, I was like, I was Niagara falling my tears. I was like just crying my eyes out when I first read it. And it makes you think, what can you do to change someone's life? Now, it may not be to the point where, we want to get a fantastic story out of it, like, oh, I stopped someone from committing suicide, or I completely converted someone to be Adventist. They're great stories, and they really do happen. But sometimes you can walk into a classroom, smile at someone, and it completely changes their day. So the challenge for this week is, be the change you want to see in the world. Show Christ and be a light in dark places. You don't have to be a missionary. You don't have to do something grand and spectacular. All you have to do is smile to your neighbor, and it can completely change their lives. Well, I hope you guys have a good week, and I hope to see you guys next week.